Good morning, Monroe School District, and welcome to day one of taking the fear out of Canvas. So I'm super excited to be able to start walking you through Canvas and all of the fantastic possibilities it holds. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I wanted to let you know that the tool I'm using for this recording is Screencastify. And I'm thinking that you can see my screen here, but up in the top in my extensions, this is the little button for Screencastify. So that's a tool that I'm using. My guess is that you're probably going to want to be using similar tools to this when you're creating content for students. So again, Screencastify, and it's a super easy tool to use. Next week, I will put out a Screencastify tutorial for you so that in case you haven't used it before. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I have the Monroe School District page here because I want to show you how to find Canvas. And this is also how students will find Canvas. Before we jump into that though, one thing that is super important is that whatever device that you are using, that you are logged into Chrome using your school Gmail account. And this is true of students as well. Some of the biggest issues that we find when logging in is that there's a parent Google account or you're using your personal Google account somewhere, and so that's the account you're logged into. So in the top right-hand corner, you can see here's my picture icon, and that is my picture for my school email. So you need to make sure you're in there because Canvas uses what we call a single sign-on. And so as long as you're logged into Google, it's going to automatically log you into Canvas. So that makes it a lot easier. So a couple of ways that you can get into Canvas. So the first way is from the district homepage. If you're staff, you can go ahead and click on staff. Oops. And okay, let's try that again. So go ahead and find staff. And then as you scroll down, you're going to see online resources and textbooks. And you go ahead and click on that. And then if you scroll on down, you are going to see Canvas. And so I'm not going to click on that right now because I want to show you from the students as well. But if you click on that, that's going to take you right out to Canvas. Let's go ahead and go back up to the navigation bar up at the top here, and let's go to students. And when you look at students, you can also scroll down and you can see Canvas there for students. So staff can access it that way as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And once I click on that, that is going to take me out to my Canvas course. If you haven't used Canvas before, it is going to have you log in first. So this is a good time for me to tell you that throughout these videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a task. And so I will tell you the task, and then I will ask you to pause your video and go and do the task. And then you can come back after the task is done, because I know you probably, most of us at home, we don't have two screens open to be able to work from both. So you can't really watch the video and do the task at the same time. So what I would like you to do for your first task is to go ahead and in just a moment, pause this video and then go out to the school district website and find the locations where you could find Canvas either as a staff and as a student, and then go ahead and click on that and open a new tab and head on out to Canvas, and then go ahead and log in. If at this point, for some reason, you aren't finding you have an account here, or you aren't able to log in, would you please email either myself, Hermes D at Monroe, or Trimble N for Nile at MSD, and then we'll try and get you taken care of right away. So email us right now if for some reason you aren't able to access your Canvas through these means. So I'm going to go ahead and pause while you pause, and go ahead and locate Canvas, and let's go ahead and open it up. See you in a minute. Okay, so great. Now that you have found Canvas, you should have a screen that is similar to mine. Now, you won't have all these tiles on here like I do. Probably some of you might, but for the most part, it might be kind of an empty shell. But you should have some of these similar features on here. So isn't this exciting? I just think, wow, as a student, if you are seeing this for the first time, how cool is that? And there's your classes all listed there. As a parent, to come in and say, oh, everything in one place, that is so great. Okay, anyway, so let's go ahead and let's take a tour of this front page. This is the front page that you will land on. This is the front page that students will land on every time that you come out into Canvas. And so there's 3 different pieces of this that I want to draw your attention to. This first part right here that you see in the middle, this is the dashboard, and it's referred to in Canvas and other places as the dashboard. On the left-hand side, this is your global navigation bar. And this is always going to be, no matter where you are in Canvas, this global navigation bar will be here. And this is a really important tool. If you ever get lost in Canvas, click on the dashboard and it takes you right back to this page, and then you can move forward from there. So we'll go through the global navigation bar here in just a little bit. And then on the right-hand side, this is where we call this the sidebar. And so this is always going to be there as well. And this is the same view that teachers and students both have. So let's talk for just a moment about this sidebar. And you'll notice here's a to-do list. This is always here for me, and it tells me assignments that I have that I need to go in and grade. And all I have to do is click on this, and I can go out and grade those assignments. So as a teacher, this is fantastic. I can see, if you look here, you'll notice I have one person who submitted this assignment. I have 25 people who submitted this assignment. And so it gives me some really quick information. Anyway, it's a quick little link. Now, I think the really powerful piece here is that a student, when they have this sidebar over here, the to-do list is of their assignments. And these are assignments that have been assigned to them from all of their classes, starting with the one that's due the soonest, and then they can scroll down and see the rest of them all the way down. Now, I'm going to take a moment to be personal here for a second. This week, my inbox, my personal email inbox, has been inundated with emails from my children's teachers. Now, I know they're doing the best that they can, but I get emails every single day, and a ton of them, because, you take your kids, I have teenagers, you take all of their teachers times however many kids you have, that's a lot of emails to get. But the bigger issue is that inside those emails are all of my assignments, or all my students' assignments, things have been assigned to them to do. And so I got one yesterday from history, and here's the assignment is right there in the email. And I got one from math, and the math teacher said, go onto the website and go here, here, and here, and you will find the assignment there. And then the English teacher, I got one, she uses Google Classroom, so have your child go out into Google Classroom and do this assignment here. And I can tell you, it feels, as an educator, I am overwhelmed by the number of emails and all the different places that I have to go to get my child's assignments. And some of those emails go to my kids, some of them don't. So then we have to compare. Did you get this email? No, you didn't. Okay, here's what this one tells you to do. It's crazy. So all that to say, if I was a parent and my children used Canvas, because every school in the district used Canvas, and I knew I could tell my child to go log into Canvas, and here's their to-do list of assignments, and I can just look at it and say, oh, okay, let's go ahead and start on this one. And then I can manage all of my students, or all my children, so much easier as a parent. And as a student, here's all of your assignments. They're listed for you right here. So I can't begin to tell you the powerful tool that this piece is for our students, for our parents, and also for you. It sure would take the stress load off me if this was available to my kids. I can tell you that. So anyway, so there's the to-do list. Okay, we're going to go ahead and head back over to the global navigation bar. And I want to show you a couple of things over in here that you're going to want to be familiar with. So your account, that's what we're going to do mostly today, is get your account set up. You will not have this feature. This is my admin feature. The dashboard, this is where, if you click on this, all of the courses that you have participated in or that you have assigned to you, these are all going to be located here on the dashboard. The calendar feature, I'm just going to click on it real quick for a second. We are probably not going to go into much detail about the calendar. It's a really useful tool, but it's one of these pieces that's not really mandatory right now. And so we're going to kind of skip on for the calendar, come back to that in another time. As we continue to scroll down on the inbox, I do want to draw your attention to this. This inbox is an inbox of emails that get shared within Canvas. And so you can create emails and share these with your students, and everything stays right within Canvas. And so even for our elementary students, this is like an email box that everything stays here. You can create emails, you can answer, you can respond to emails, etc. And so we will come back to this another time too, because there's also tools available so that you can actually use audio messaging and you can use video messaging through here. It's a pretty important tool. But let me just start by saying over here, here's the tool that you most need, and this is the compose a new message. And so when you click on this to compose a message, it's going to ask you what course do you want to select, because you're only going to be emailing within certain courses. And so I could select my course, and then it would populate the names in here, and then I could type out my message and I can send it. Now, one feature that's super helpful with this tool is you can put your whole class in here, but if you want these emails to go out individually, you can just click on this, send as an individual message, and it will send out individually. And that way, if a student responds back to you, they're only responding back to you instead of to the whole group. And so just a really fantastic feature within Canvas. I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Okay, and as we continue to scroll down, the next tool in here is your studio tool. This is your this is your video recording tool. We are going to talk about this on Monday. This is one of my absolute favorite features of Canvas. The next one is the comments. Again, we'll get to this another time, but then I want to draw your attention down to help. We have Canvas help available to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I can tell you that I have used this so many times. People have contacted me with problems and man, I don't know. So I come out here and they are fantastic. So let me show you a couple of things. So you click on the help, and they have some training things in here. They have different guides, report problems, all of those kind of things. There's a Canvas hotline number that you can call. But let me tell you, the one that I use the very most is Chat with Canvas Support Faculty. And this is live chat support, and this is available 24/7. When you click on this, it's going to open up a message box, and it's just going to ask for your name and what your role is. And then it will link you to a person. And I think the most time I've ever spent waiting for someone is 5 minutes. So they're really fast to respond. And you just type in your question, and they can actually access your information so they can help you figure out the problems. They have been incredibly helpful. So again, that's on your global navigation bar. If you go to the bottom to the help section and chat with Canvas support. I just can't speak highly enough of that tool. Okay, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I always like to navigate back to my dashboard because that's like my central home location. That's where I feel the most comfortable. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And as I mentioned earlier, our task for today is to get your account set up. So let's go ahead and let's head up to the account. Why don't you, and I'm going to walk you through a couple of things, and then this is going to be another task. So I'm going to go ahead and open the account. And when I open this up, you're going to see that there's several tabs down here for me to be able to look at. We're going to look through several of these today. Let's start by going to our profile. And by the way, you'll notice you can log out here. I have never logged out of Canvas. And since we just have single sign-in, it's just simple just to not have to worry about that feature. I'm going to head down to my profile. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And once I'm in my profile, this is going to show me some things, some personal things that I have set up here. Now, this is information right here that is accessible to anybody within Canvas. So you're going to want to make sure that whatever is displayed here is information that you want students to see, or parents if parents are in, that kind of thing. So the way that you're going to change that is over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see these three little dots. Anytime you see those, that means there's other options available to you. Click on that, and you are going to edit your profile. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead and head over here And you're going to notice that there's a little biography. So if you wanted to share some information about yourself to your students, you can do that. And then if you have some links, let's say you want to link to a web page, or maybe you have a website for your classroom through our Google domain, you can put that in here and you can just link to that. A note, anytime you're in Canvas, Canvas is a little different than Google in that you do have to save information. So please always remember, look for that save button. And so once you've changed some information, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on Save Profile. Okay, right now, what I would like for you to do is task number 2. And so let me walk you through it really quickly. So you're back here at your dashboard, and I want you to come up and click on your account. And then I want you to go down to Profile. And once you're in Profile, you're going to find the 3 little dots, and you are going to edit your profile. And if you want to add any information for a biography, or if you want to add links, you're going to go ahead and do that and then click Save Profile. So why don't you go ahead and pause this video, and I will see you back here in just a minute. Great. All right. I hope you had success with making those changes. Something I forgot to mention at the beginning is you might want to have a piece of paper and a pen handy so that if you have any questions as we're going through, or you aren't able to do what you're wanting to do, that you can jot little notes down so that you can access Niall's live help this afternoon and ask him some questions about this. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is that this is just a dry run. I'm not editing anything. I am not taking this 3, 4, or 5 times. This is just rough. It's just who I am, and it just has to be, because I'm hoping to model for you the kind of work that you're probably going to be doing and putting for your students into Canvas as well. And it doesn't have to be perfect. They just want to see your face. They want to get work from you. And so here we go. All right. Let's go ahead now that you have edited your profile. I want you to go back. I'm going to show you first, and then I'll have you do this. Let's go back and let's take a look at the 3 dots again. This time we're going to notice there's account details. I'm going to click on account details, and this is going to give me some more information that I can change. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here. And a word of caution, there's a lot of information on this page you do not want to change. So I'm going to talk with you about a couple of those things. So if you would like to add a picture, this is where you add a profile picture. And I would strongly suggest that you do that. I know a lot of people use avatar pictures. That's fine too. But I would suggest a picture, because again, it's making that connection with students. They see your face, and it makes, I think, especially when they're remote learning and not learning from you, it's just a reminder of their teacher and whatnot. So I think it's probably a good idea. The other thing that you can do down at the bottom here, and I have administrative permissions, so some of this I'm not 100% sure you have, but I'm going to click on the edit button. And once I click on this is where I can change the display name. So right now it's set up to display as your first and your last name. Some of you might want to have your surname there instead. And so you can come in here and you can edit this. And so if I wanted to, I could add whatever name the students call me. I could put that as my display name. You don't have to do that, but it's up to you. But change your display name. Do not change your full name, and do not change your sortable name, because that's how Canvas can access information about you. And don't change anything else on here. So, and then update your details if you change your display name. Any of these other tools you aren't going to want to have, you aren't going to want to use. All right, let's go ahead and scroll on down here. Here's some information that might be helpful to you just to take a peek at. These are all the classes that you're enrolled in, and page views. So none of this is really anything you're going to probably want to care too much about. The other tool I just want to bring to your attention, and right now, you aren't going to understand this, but I'm going to just let you know that this is here in your profile. This is Pair with Observer. So our parents can use a parent app, a Canvas parent app on any device, and this is how they would pair with their student. And so the student would give them a code, and this is where the student finds that code. And once they find that code, the parent can pair that. So that's That's a good question for another day, but just in case, that's where you would find that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's head back. And I want to draw your attention to the top of the page here. We call these breadcrumbs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my name, and that's going to take me back a step. And here I am back at my profile. And so the other way I could do this, I can always click back on my account and it will take me back here as well. So a couple of different ways that you can get there. Okay, let's go ahead. I want to show you the next thing on the list, and this is files. So Canvas has a really nice system of organizing all your files for you. So any kind of document you upload, anything you put into Canvas, they keep it here in this little file folder for you. So it's like a big filing cabinet, and you can look through and you can notice that they organize it by class for you. So if you clicked on it, you would see all of the different pages that are housed within that file. So just if you're ever looking for something and you aren't sure where you put it, this is a place you can come up and you can search for files. Okay, again, I'm going to click on my breadcrumb and I'm going to head on back. And the next part I want to talk to you about is settings. So we're going to go ahead and head down to settings. And there's a couple of things that you're going to want to change within your settings. And this is where you will see, here's your display name. So you can check and see, is that how you want your name to be displayed? If not, you can go in and change that. If for some reason you don't have that setting available to you, email me and tell me what you would like that to say, and I can go in and change it for you. Okay, a couple of things. On the right-hand side, you're going to see ways to contact. Now, your Monroe School District email should be in here. If you wish to add another email in there, you can. I don't really recommend it, but it's always a possibility. Other contacts, you can add, I put my email back in here again, but you can add a contact method. You can add a cell phone number if you want to. Let me tell you why you might want to do this, is that if you put a cell phone number in here, then you can set up in notifications for a text message to be sent to your phone in case maybe you get a new message from a student or something like that. So if you wish to be notified via your cell phone, that's where that would come in, and that's where that would be handy. Okay. And so the other feature on the right-hand side here I want to draw your attention to is download course content. We're not going to go there right now, except to say that we have enabled a feature within Canvas. So now you can download all of the written work that is attached to any of your courses for students into a paper format in case they don't have internet access. So you're able to do that. All right. Scrolling back up to the top, here's my settings again. I'm going to scroll down. Now you're going to see web services. Under web services, there's one really important feature that you're going to need to enable. You should have under registered services, you should have Google Drive. This will integrate Google into your Canvas account. If this doesn't show up under registered services, you will probably see it here under other services. So please click on that Google icon. If it's over here under other services, click on that and ask it to register that service to your account. And then you should see it pop up over here. This is super important that you have this as a registered service with your account. So you're the only one that can enable that one. Okay, and that is, in a nutshell, kind of the features within settings that you are going to want to know about. One other thing that we're going to set up today. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you a task right now. I'm going to give you time to go and work on this. So we're going to pause for a moment. So again, let's go ahead and head back out to our account. And within our account, I would like for you to go down to settings. And once you're in settings, check and make sure that your email is correct over here. Check and make sure if you want to add a cell phone into here, and then double check that Google Drive has been added to your registered services. And I will be back in just a moment. All right, great. If you had any difficulties registering that Google service under a registered service, please join Niall for his live help session this afternoon. Okay, so now we've gone through most of the information under your account, except at the top, the notifications. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like. And then again, I'm going to give you a task to take care of this. So notifications are like any other thing these days. Would you like to be notified about this, that, or the other? And so these are notification preferences within Canvas. Now, let me start off by saying most of these you are not going to really care about right now. And most of these, it's quite possible that you will never care about. Some of them you might, but it might be at a later date. So I just want to share a couple of things with you right now. The notification preferences, you can see at the top what each of the symbols, what the icons represent. I don't particularly like getting a ton of notifications, and so I turn most of my notifications off. If you don't want to get notifications by email, or if you put your cell phone in here, if you don't want to get those notifications, you're going to want to make sure that all of these X's are in green. Now, some courses are, some teachers use announcements where they can push out an announcement to class. And so if you want to be notified of those announcements that you send, you can click on that and be notified immediately, or just on a daily, if you want to be notified weekly of those announcements, or not at all. A couple other features that I have enabled myself personally is that when I get invited into Canvas courses, that's what this one is. So if I get an invitation to a Canvas course, I would like to be notified by email. If you don't want to, if you just want to hop into Canvas and then accept an invitation once you're in Canvas, you can do that and keep that turned off. But I do like to receive an email about that. And the blueprint course, we're going to get to that at a much later date. And some of these other features, conversations, discussions, scheduling, these are all advanced features of Canvas that that we're not going to get into in this particular Canvas course. You might be interested down the road, but I would just make sure all of that is turned off when it comes to notifications. So right now, probably the biggest thing you're going to want to do is just make sure that these notifications are turned off, unless you're a person who wants to be notified of all of these different things. I would just go through and just X off everything except maybe your invitation to classes. So let's go ahead and do a quick review. So you're in your account. Here, I'm gonna click on my breadcrumbs and click on my name again and head back. I'm in my account, and at the top of my account, there is my notifications. I'm going to click on that, and then it's going to bring up my preferences for me. So why don't you go ahead and pause your video and go out and go to your notifications and make sure that you have turned off all the notifications that you wish to have turned off. And please don't worry about this. This is not a big deal at all in Canvas. If you're like, too much, I don't want to worry about that right now, just X everything off, make sure everything is X'd out in green, and that's perfect. So, all right, we'll see you back here in just a minute. All right, everyone, I hope you had those notification preferences set up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and let's do a review, and that was our work for today. So that was our first small little Canvas bits, was how to essentially set up our account and get to know Canvas. So as always, I'm going to head over to my global navigation bar. I'm going to click on my dashboard because that's where I just feel the most comfortable. I'm going to head back to my dashboard, and here we talked today about how you have your to-do list over here on the side, so it's easy access. No matter what subject, no matter what class it is, everything appears over here in this list. In the dashboard, this is where you're going to find your courses. And in the global navigation bar, this is where you can scroll down and you're going to have options for several different things, including your mail, including a video recorder, and most importantly is that help button down at the bottom. Please don't hesitate. We have purchased this as part of our Canvas package. We've purchased the 24/7 help. And so please use that if you run into any difficulties at all. That's what they're there for. Okay, next we talked about setting up your account, and we walked through these different pieces. So notifications, would you like to receive emails about different pieces? How to set up your profile, and hopefully you have a picture up here now. If you don't and want a picture, but you aren't sure how, that would be a great question for Niall in your live help session this afternoon. Files, anything you upload into Canvas, if you are looking for it and you can't remember what class that you put it in or where it is, that's where you can go to search for something specific. In your settings, this is where you would enable your Google Drive icon so that all of your Google content can be integrated into Canvas, and several other things if you want to have a different display name, things like that. So there you go. There's your first day of Canvas. And I hope you feel really successful, because it really is just this dashboard with classes. And it's going to be so great for students and for parents alike to be able to use Canvas. So thank you for staying with me and hanging in there and setting up your account. When we come back next week on Monday, you will probably find that you have a new course that has been put into your dashboard, because I'm going to try and push out a sandbox course to you so that we can start looking into what one of your classes would look like, and how you can start adding content into your classes. So that's coming on Monday. Just a reminder, this afternoon, Niall is going to be holding 2 live help sessions. One of them will be from 1 to 1:45, and the other one from 2 to 2:45. The first session is going to cover, if you have questions about what we talked about today, he can help you with that. The second session, if you have other questions, you've moved ahead in Canvas and you have some more advanced questions, that second session is for that. So on the bottom of this newsletter link, you will find links to those live Zoom sessions. Click on the link and join. You can join at any time. You don't have to be there for the full 45 minutes. If you have a 2-minute question, you can just click in, ask your question, and then you can go ahead and click out and go back to your great work. So thank you so much for being a part of this class today, and I'll see you on Monday.